Alright, so what's done? Well, everything's painted. Side panels, hood, everything but the cover here for the middle part is painted. There's one other part that I didn't paint yet, but this I screwed up twice.
So what did you screw up?
Thinking it was dry, and I had to sand down the part and redo it twice. No big deal, but now that's done. The stuff that has clear coat on it is the back fenders, the hood, and something else. This thing right here. This kind of goes underneath the seat. That's where the battery goes in and everything. This is ready to roll. So once I get out once I get the gasket for the rear and I can do that, then I can take the wheels off, paint it. I've just been waiting for the gasket because I want to get all the dirty stuff done first, and then go ahead and paint the frame. Until then, I'm just going to start putting like the little hood piece on the front here. Right here it is. Put the little hood piece on the front. I painted that satin black like it was. And then this actually had real diamond plating for the foot area. It wasn't rubber like a lot of them are. So I painted this. I saw a few people had theirs just raw metal looking, maybe chrome. So I painted this with some, I guess it was Duplicolor metal, maybe Rust-Oleum metal. There it is. Ultra high heat silver. So it's like stainless steel color. So I used this, and then I went ahead and painted the bolts to match, because you don't want to have old looking bolts when you put that through, and then it's not going to look right. So painted those as well. So I did replace the fuel line, as well as the shutoff valve and the bushing that goes into the fuel tank, and there's definitely some corrosion and rust on the inside of that, so glad I changed that out. Maybe that's why it was leaking in the first place, possibly. Alright, so I popped off the rear plate and went ahead and was cleaning up in here, checking the gears and the teeth and everything, and I don't really see anything wrong, so we're good there. Going to clean up the filter on the edges here. I went ahead and cleaned up the plate last night. Cleaned that up last night, and I put some primer on it. I'm going to go ahead and hit all of this with primer today after I get this back on and get it refilled, and pop the tires off. Alright, so we got the old gasket off. I went over it with some really fine sandpaper just to double check, and around the gasket area. Made sure that was smooth. Went ahead and took everything out, because you really want to get the stuff at the bottom, which is possible really tiny metal shavings. So I went ahead and took those out, got everything out as far as the HyTran oil that was in here. Now it's time to put the gasket on, the cover on, and refill it. So what did I do today? What I did was I changed the rear differential oil, took the back off, scraped the gasket clean on both sides. I actually primed the cover last night, so I emptied it last night, and I went ahead and put the gasket on, put the plate back on, filled it. You only fill it until it comes out the fill hole. So I did that, and then primed and painted the entire frame, but from here on the inside, back and everything, and then here and everything. I'm not taking that apart. It looks good. There's no rust. No reason really to do it. No one's gonna see it. Doesn't matter. I then changed the engine oil, which is SAE 30 non-detergent. doesn't have an oil filter because when you don't have an oil filter, you want to use non-detergent stuff. So Valvoline makes one, so I used some SAE 30 Valvoline oil, 1.5 quarts. I took the tires off, the rear tires, and cleaned them up, washed them up, used some interior, I guess, protectant, if you will, and just, you know, cleaned up the outside of them, and they turned out really good. There's a little bit of rust on them, but I can take care of that another time, just to get this up and running and moving. I can wait to do that, you know, in the winter time. As far as the rear gears and the rear differential, I looked everything over. Looks fine. There's no chips or anything in the gears. Checked out all right. And when I was emptying it, when I drained it, I went ahead and took everything out with a paper towel until it was bone dry. You want to make sure you get all those metal shavings, if there are any, on the bottom. And then when you do the gasket and you kind of scrape that off, make sure you again go in and clean everything out. Make sure there's no residual crap in there.